Tell us about WimBASH last night. Awesome event. Great lineup you put together. How did you put it all together?
Well, again, man, it's just I'm blessed to have a lot of good friends, and when you have friends or family. So, I reached out to Daru Jones and Paul Pesco, Corey from Living Color, my bandmate, and some of my old friends from my Sugar Hill days, Chops, the horn section. So we did all the Sugar Hill records. And Scott Healy, who plays with Conan O'Brien. And then I'm always into I was that kid, you know what I mean, that's dreaming and stuff, and I'm still dreaming. So I always like to make sure that I can find young talent, young up-and-coming artists to be able to put them on. So Cal Ward was a sophomore at Berkeley College of Music up in Boston. I ran into him, and he's a phenomenal guitar player. Christone Kingfish Ingram, wicked new up-and-coming guitar player, 16 years old.
Wow.
And I saw him I was on a United Airlines flight, and there was an article on Mississippi, and they had him in there. And next thing you know, I'm getting a call from some folks saying, hey, we'd like to, would you mind having him to be a part of your WimBASH? I'm like, sure. So again, what it is, it really started off as me giving the whole WimBASH brand started off as me giving my mentor, Skip McDonald, who we did all the Sugar Hill records together, and I've been working with him from 1974, and still working with him right now. We lived in London. I came back here to Connecticut. He was still over there. He hadn't been back in years. And I'm like, you know what? Let me give my mentor a coming home party so he can see all of his friends. At the same time, there was a club in Hartford named Sully's, and they're like the one club like CBGB's that puts all artists on. Doesn't matter if you're an acoustic guitar player or whatever. A poet, 7 nights a week, there's music going on. And he was like, Doug, man, we're glad you're back home, but you want to do something. Thirdly, I have a lot of friends I grew up with, and they're not playing in bands anymore, so you see cats all the time. Hey, man, hey, Doug, what's going on, man? Let's do something. And a lot of times it's hollow conversation that, people have. It's like, yeah. And you're not going to do anything. But I'm like, I don't like to have hollow conversation. So I said, I'm going to put all three of these things together and have a party at the club, get my friends that are Weekend Warriors, and have them all come and participate in the event. And at the same time, I met John McCarthy from Rock House. And he was at the party and saw the event. Started off with one band. Before you know it, I got 10 bands performing. So and it was all natural, all organic, and it just built from the earth. And I loved it. So people encouraged me to do it again. And then John from Rock House was like, you know what? This is 12 years ago. Let's bring it out to NAMM. I love what you're doing. So we brought it out to NAMM, and then it just, we got all this, these folks here to get involved, and they saw it. And then every year it just grew. I moved it around to different locations. We've had WimBASHs in Miami Beach, Philadelphia, Anchorage, Alaska.
Nice.
A lot. United Kingdom. I've done it over in Frankfurt and stuff, and it's just naturally just grew into something that when I wake up every day, I look forward to seeing your friends. And if there's anything, how can I keep to have this big family party going on? And now the family has expanded to my sponsors, which Eventide has been a gracious and key sponsor. They're really good guys, and I like the sounds, and they have, to me, one of the best devices that's come out to date. The H9 is a product that I stand by.
Yeah, tell us a bit about that.
Dude, man, it's almost like Jesus came down and blessed somebody with an effects pedal that I personally like.
Yeah.
It's first of all, Eventide is one of these companies that they do really good high-end stuff, and they've been doing it for years. And this is almost like a toy for them. You know what I mean? It's like, oh well, okay, we can make a pedal, and we can make it really, really good for everybody. So I just fell in love with it. I met the guys that came by my house in the early stages when they were still putting algorithms and patches together, and I was like, man, this is going to be a total game changer. And and it just, for me personally, I was the kid that used to plug my bass into an Echoplex and wah-wah pedal and fuzz boxes, trying to emulate all my heroes. And now they put all of that kind of like these devices that I like to use in one small box that I can run on my iPhone or on my iPad and stuff like this. It's amazing. So I've personally been able to explore more with it, but not just that. I like to turn my friends on to what's going on. I'm not the kind of guy that takes the basketball and plays the game and then I go home, but my friends are still that they want to use the ball and I take the ball home. I'm like, no, let me turn my friends on to this pedal. So, Victor Wooten and Roy, Future Man, they have turned them, got them engaged in it, and a lot of other folks who have seen me use it, and they've been like, man, that's kind of cool. And as a bassist, you get full range frequencies coming out of the bass, that's in another lane than guitar. So I can, between the harmonics and low end frequencies, you can really hear the pedal in my opinion, at its fullest, because of the range of the bass. So for me, it's been a total game changer.
That's awesome, and it sounds like you're really passionate about also helping out young artists. So what kind of advice would you have for artists that are looking to be sponsored, or what kind of career advice would you offer them?
Well, first of all, just believe, find your lane, find your tone, find your own imprint. Listen to everybody, obviously, because that's what we all do. One of the things is just be patient, but you have to be in the ballpark to get a hit. You can't be in the stands talking about swing. So find a way to get into the ballpark, even if just to, whether you're around the people you want that are inspiring you, people that you like, that you're digging. So as you're younger, nowadays you have many opportunities to explore. So you go on YouTube and you can see who was playing the night before and see what Victor Wooten was doing just last night, or myself, or drummers, musicians of different calibers. So there's many ways as a young artist to be able to get the information and process it. At the same time, there's a lot more distractions in my opinion in this generation than my generation. My generation, it was get a turntable, put a penny on the needle, make sure it doesn't skip, put your ear there, and listen to the records and stuff, you get a book, or we learn from our friends. And now, I even find myself on YouTube going, man, how does so-and-so do this? How do they do that? So all the musicians right now, there's no excuse. You should all be geniuses, man. It should be Beethoven's all over the place. But again, it takes, follow your spirit. That's important. Never let anybody tell you what you can't do. And remember, there's a lot of musical police officers in this business, and they're waiting to arrest you. For example, like a lot of times you'll get into one groove with a band, and then it could be it could be so centered, it's like, yo, man, we're the only ones that are doing this. So if you try to go outside of the bun, people, sometimes you get suppressed by your own friends, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm playing metal, well, just stay metal. Maybe you want to listen to a jazz artist, or a reggae artist, or blues. So from my advice, listen to everything. The world is free right now. The frequencies are there. And if you listen, you can learn. That's the key. Listen. Listen.
It's fantastic advice for young artists. Lastly, what are your plans here at NAMM this year? What's been cool here? What did you enjoy?
Well, first of all, NAMM is like a class reunion. I get to meet you guys from the Music Connection. You know what I mean? I get to see friends that, from the industrial side, that's been in the game for a while, whether they're coming from Europe or wherever. And also all of our musicians, this is our class reunion. You know what I mean? We get a chance to, for one weekend, break bread. Maybe we see each other for 30 seconds, but those 30 seconds means the world to me. I'm a fan of a lot of musicians. If I see fellow bassists, I'm so happy to see them. If I see other folks that, I only get to sometimes see them here. So if it's anything, I bless NAMM for being able to have this as a way and means for us musicians to get together and break bread.
That's fantastic, Doug. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, man, thank you guys,
that.
Man. Thank you so much, man. Peace and love, y'all. Live in the living color right here, Doug Wimbish in the area. Stay tuned. Shade is coming out. Living Color 2016 in the area. Peace, Music Connection.